talk about my progress with German. So learning a new language is obviously super frustrating at times and super rewarding at times. So I have been here for a little over 2 weeks now, and I am so much more comfortable speaking, having a short conversation with people. So like yesterday I was at the park with Ella and I was pushing her on the swing and she started talking to the kid and the parent next to her that were in her class, and the dad started talking to me, which was like my worst nightmare because I get really shy, but that's okay, it's good for me. So then he started talking to me and he kept talking to me in German, which was awesome because most people will switch, or like when you're at a shop, most people will switch to English because they can hear your accent or you're just like not saying the articles correctly. So like der die das. I was at a cafe and I think I said ein Kaffee bitte, but you would say einen Kaffee bitte, and then she was like, for here to go, and I was like, so, but he kept speaking to me in German, which was awesome, and we talked for like 5 minutes, like there were silences and stuff, but he was like, I was like, oh yeah, I'm au pairing here, I come from California, and then I was like, it's hard to learn German, but I'm learning more every day, and then we talked about the kids a little bit, that they were in the same class, Ella and him, and I don't know, just like random stupid stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. And then I did that to another parent that came too, actually, to the park, so that was kind of nice. What else? Ordering, everyone's different, so I still kind of get afraid when I order stuff. I don't know why. I'm a perfectionist, so when I learn a language, obviously I want everything to be perfect, but that is impossible. So I've learned as long as I can get my point across in that language, it's totally fine even if it's wrong, and it will get better. So the first week I was here, I hadn't been studying that much German before I left, so I'd taken 2 semesters of German at Diablo Valley College. My teacher was awesome, but it wasn't really intensive, it was just learning with tests and stuff. But I found, so I started my Deutsch course, my German course 2 weeks ago, so I just finished my second week yesterday. And that course has been super helpful because it's a 3-hour class and you're just speaking German and doing exercises in German the entire time. Our exercises, we have been, for example, one person has been the Verkaufe, or Verkaufen, which is the see, now I can't find the word in English. But one person is the worker, employee at a cafe, and then the other student is a customer and you have to order stuff. So it's super practical. And another example was, okay, you're going on a trip, plan how you're going to get there, where you're going to meet, what you're going to do, stuff that you'll actually be using here. That's what we're doing in class. So I really love this class that I have been taking it and have found that it has been the most useful thing to learn the language. Other thing that has been super helpful, other person, is Ella, because she says more simpler stuff and it's more like day to day, like, do you want milk? Because she drinks milk every morning and night. So that's super easy for me to say and for her to say and for me to understand. So that has been super helpful in me learning common phrases and just like daily life things. So Ella has definitely been the #1 person helping me with that. And then I have also been talking to Felix, the dad, in German somewhat. I always get shy. The hard part about talking to Felix in German is that we want to have like more, we're not going to talk about a cup of coffee, you know, like, oh, I like my coffee with milk in it. I mean, I could actually see myself talking about that, but it's more like, so he was, for example, yesterday when I got home, he was preparing his lectures and showing me what he was doing, but I wouldn't really be able to understand if he explained it in German, and I wouldn't be able to say like, oh, that's super cool with all those graphs and pictures and videos, and like, I don't know, he was doing some fire protection stuff, so like I wouldn't have been able to understand. So obviously we start talking in German and then it goes to English. I can understand better than I can speak, so then I just start speaking in English and then he'll start speaking English, so it gets a little bit harder. So that's been a little harder, but he was telling me that like after 2 months, so they lived in Scotland for 2 years, and he said his English was not good either, and after the first 2 months, that's where his English, like he could start speaking a little more fluently. And he was like, I bet that will happen to you. I have a hard time with the past tense, so like when I'm trying to explain something that happened in my day, it's super hard. So if I want to say, I want to be an astronaut who flies to the moon when I'm older. So if I were to say that in German, it would be basically you put your first verb at the beginning of the second sentence and the last verb at the end. It's hard to kind of say the things without having that verb, because in English we say I want to be. I want to be is like all of the verbs at the front of the sentence. I don't know if that makes sense, but like I'm saying, the class is kind of helping me and forcing me to speak to other people, which has been awesome. The class has been awesome. Also, one other thing I want to say is that every day feels different. Some days I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm totally getting this German learning language thing. And then the next day I'll be like, wow, I don't know shit. So it really depends. Some days you have good days, some days you're like, wow, I'm never going to learn this, I'm never going to be fluent. So you never know. But I've only been here for 2 weeks and I've seen, like, I understand so much more, and can say so many more things. I was FaceTiming with Niels yesterday, and I was like, okay, let's speak in German so that you can see if my speaking has improved, and he said, yes, it has. And he says he can tell because when we were back in Berkeley, I would always try to get him to speak in German with me because I was like, I'm going to Germany, like I have to do this. But of course we just like never would fall back to English because it's so much easier to say. You can say something in 10 seconds in English versus like 2 minutes trying to say in German. So obviously we would always fall back to speaking in English, but then I was talking to him and he was like, you know how I can tell you're improving is because you start talking in German now. I always used to say, wir sprechen auf Deutsch. And then I'd say that, and then we'd say maybe a few sentences, and then go back to English. So sometimes we'd have a conversation, but it was hard. So now I just have more, like I don't know. Living here has forced me to obviously speak the language. So I feel a little bit more comfortable speaking with him because I don't care if I mess up with him. Another thing, vocabulary. So I'm so bad about learning vocab. I just got a notebook that has like a line down the middle of the page so you can write vocab on each side. So I'm going to start jotting down everything in there, and I even have like a little note on my phone, and it just says vocab and stuff that I hear all the time that I have no idea what they mean. I write that word down and then either look it up and see what it means or look it up later and try to learn it. So that also has been beneficial. Because then everything that you hear all the time, you can just learn super fast because you're hearing it every day. What I've started to do, I have such a long commute, it like takes 40 minutes to get to my German class. So I have made flashcards. Every single day we have new vocab. I started flashcards and I kind of just go through them. And also one other thing that really helps me is writing a sentence on the flashcard. Write a sentence with the word. It's super hard to remember a word without a sentence to go along with it. So yeah, I don't really know what else to talk about. So the growth I've kind of seen is definitely more common phrases used every day. Phrases like Zähne putzen is brush your teeth. Cafe. Still don't know what this is. Löffel or Gabel. I know a bunch of food. What else? Blume, Dinger. Stuhl, Tisch, Fahne. Yeah, I don't know. I just have learned way more vocab from just being here 2 weeks, so yeah, that was a long video. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this will help you or motivate you to learn a language, or if you are learning one, see how different it is living here learning a language versus in your home country or state or whatever. I'll try to do these maybe every 2 weeks would be good, just like as a check-in to kind of track my progress, because I kind of want to do this myself to look back on it, and it's kind of like a video journal entry, I guess. Thank you for watching. Send me a comment or something, or try to send me a comment and let me know if you liked this video. Like, not if you don't have to like it. I don't really care about that. Just, if you liked watching it or found it interesting or beneficial, let me know, because that's super encouraging and exciting to see that other people are benefiting from these videos that I'm making, or if you just liked it, or have been curious. Anything. Yeah, I always play with my hair. Maybe this is me in every video. Okay, have a good day. Thanks for watching. Tschüss.